Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Arap Ruto, and Kenya Kwanza Battalion must with immediate effect desist from hope peddling narrative that we are going to resettle slum dwellers in the new affordable housing. The people will catch up with rulers when time comes. William Ruto today sneaked in Kibera for an impromptu rally on what they say is inspection of affordable housing projects going on there. And the team, President, if he is actually planning to mainstream affordable housing as his legacy project for 2027 re-election, then I can say he will have there is still a lot of work to be done for that messaging to convince even those people that are contributing. And I want to demonstrate to you what happened in Kibera, why that impromptu rally to try to convince slum dwellers that they will actually be handed over houses is something that is a state script and a high-profile deception scheme. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos, and thank you very much for supporting this podcast. We do this each and every day because of your support. And I want to say thank you because we make political analysis have a different approach, a fresh breath that we give in matters politics in this country. And allow me to start by the statement from the President's Facebook page that was shared just today, because I believe that is the starting point. I wanted to look to what they posted. Yes. We are transforming Kibera in Nairobi from a slum to a modern estate that will make life better for tens of thousands of residents. The Kibera informal settlement eradication is one of our more than 200 affordable housing projects that are building to deliver the change that Kenyans expect and deserve. Inspected, the Kibera Soweto Zone B affordable housing project that will deliver 4,500 social units, housing units, 1,740 one bedroom, 1,692 bedroom and 624 three-bedroom units. Also witnessed the enumeration of residents of Kibera Soweto Zone C and D. The over 11,000 residents participating will be the first beneficiaries of the new houses. And as you can look, this is the photo of Ruto in Kibera. And of course, when his convoy or when his team made their way to that place. Let me explain. The construction of Kibera B is currently underway. Now, Soweto B, is for people who know that place, is currently underway. Soweto East Zone B. Then, and in those Soweto East Zone B, they are building 4,500 social housing. That is the housing that is the bed sitters zenye zilikuwa launched Mukuru. So Zone C and D are also supposed to be evicted so that affordable housing units can be erected there. Now, wale wa Zone B hawajapewa manyumba na nyumba zao hazijaisha. Wa Zone C na D already they're receiving a stipend. I'm yet to find out how much. We are told is 10,000, so that they can leave the premises, and through that they're being told that they will be given houses priority when those houses are complete. You don't know when the houses are going to be complete. Now that is what you have said, and I want you to keep, if ukiangalia that post, if you make your calculation, the total number of those houses doesn't even reach 10,000. Now when the president was addressing that event, he actually mentioned that in Kibera they're building 25,000 houses.
Mimi nataka mjue ya kwamba Hakuna mtu ameandikiwa awe maskini Kenya hii. Sisi wote, katiba ya Kenya inalazimisha serikali, inanilazimisha mimi kama rais wa nchi hii kuhakikisha ya kwamba napanga vile wananchi wote wanaweza kuishi mahali kuna heshima, mahali kuna maji, mahali kuna stima, mahali kuna barabara, mahali kuna usafi. And that I will commit. Wale wananipinga wataendelea kunipinga, lakini mimi nitasimama imara kuhakikisha ya kwamba kazi hii inasonga mbele. Na sio hapa Kibera peke yake. Mukuru inaendelea, kule Kiambiu inaendelea, kule sehemu ya Nairobi peke yake. Wacha niwapatie statistics. Hapa Kibera peke yake tunakuja kujenga nyumba 10,000 mahali hizi mabati iko. Hapa tuko na nyumba 4,500. Nilikuja hapa Southlands miezi miwili iliyopita, nikaanzisha nyumba 15,000. Saa hizi inaendelea kujengwa katika Kibera hii. Kibera hii peke yake tunajenga nyumba 25,000. Ndio tusafishe hii Kibera, tuondoe slum, tuondoe maji taka, tuondoe ile mambo yote machafu, tubadilishe hii slum ikae estate kama ile mnaona hapa.
Wow. If you look at that number, and I'm doing this so that I show you the kind of script being played there, and it is just so bad. According to the 2019 census, 185,000 residents stay in Kibera slum. Now, William Ruto is saying in video that they're building 25,000 houses. But in that post, he's saying they're building a total of 10,000. Where is the lie? Let's assume Kibera residents are going to benefit. Let's just take the 25,000 houses. Can the 1,000 houses be able to accommodate the 185,000 people living in Kibera? By then, we're told now it could be even in the tune of 200. So it is a lie, and it is a white lie, that those who are being ejected, wale wenye wanaishi kwa hizo manyumba, the small houses, they're the ones that are going to benefit in the affordable housing project. Now, the plan is this, and I want to agree with the president that in the next 10 or so years, you will not have mabati structures in Kibera. You shall have moved, you shall have brought down those mabati structures kidogo kidogo and erected the big affordable housing units there. However, those units are not going to be occupied by the slum dwellers because of cost. Remember, as we once said, the housing is not a house problem for Kibera. It is an income problem. They don't have the money, and that is why they're staying in those ones. Even with those environment, with that condition, they opt for those ones because they are paying less. The income has not been improved, even by the fact that affordable housing units are there. If you look at that, the public were just watching, uninterested, as if the president was talking to some dead audience. They're not moved even by the affordable housing numbers that President William Ruto is shouting. And just to tell you what they did today, because the president knows very well. Remember the two mission. He was in Mukuru kwa Ruben and staged some people to act like wao wameshapewa manyumba so that Mukuru kwa Ruben residents could actually own up the project. Now today in Kibera, wale wenye wanafaa watolewe wa zone C na zone D, Soweto zone C na D, they're taking their numbers and wanaandikwa into a list. That when the project ends, they're going to benefit from this.
Tayari wananchi 11,000 wameandikishwa. Kila mmoja wa hawa wananchi 11,000 hapa ndani utapatiwa card ambayo itaonyesha kwamba wewe umekuwa mkaaji wa hapa slum. Namba ya kwanza. Alafu namba ya pili, hiyo card ndio itakuwa tikiti yako ya kupata nyumba hapa wakati tutaikamilisha. Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Si ni mawingu? Hapa munaona mawingu ama hamuoni mawingu?
One thing that is not being said here. Number one, the houses cannot accommodate all of them. Wenye wanatolewa is 11,000. Housing units being constructed mali wanatolewa is around 4,500. So they cannot. Number two, those who were evicted initially have not even been accommodated. Number three, the process of owning a house is not just having that card. Remember, you have to pay the deposit. Yes, you have to pay the deposit. And apart from paying the deposit, the housing units, they were saying it's 3,900 with maintenance charge of 1,000, 4,900 and service and pesa takataka, which is 3,000, which is 300. So that brings the house to around 5 in the tune of 5,000. So they were doing all that so that people can accept. Remember, unataka kutolewa. So unaandikwa, jina yako inaandikwa, unapewa some 10,000, then unaambiwa wewe utoke, tukishajenga ikiisha utapewa. What are they trying to do? They're just trying to give an exit to these people. And that is why my position here is very clear. The project is big, and it is true the government is erecting big, huge buildings. The target market for that is not the slum dwellers. The target market is the middle class. But because the slum dwellers are supposed to give land, there is a perception that has to be created that they are also going to be beneficiaries. While that is not the truth. The beneficiaries cannot be those slum dwellers. Looking at the cost implication in the affordable housing. So all this is done. And if you look at how the president was there, you will actually see what is going on. Remember, this was coming, why this was being done. William Ruto was going to Mukuru because they lost the information war on Mukuru script. You could see the government trying to explain themselves that in this indeed true. In fact, some people were even paraded in Citizen, had to be facilitated to appear in Citizen TV so that they can say they have those houses. And the information war they lost, because even those people here believe that those are not the houses. Now, the people that were acting as owners were actually hired actors. The crowd is not crowding, even as the president tries to talk about the issues of Kumi break and all this. And I wanted to get a more clearer video when he's talking, and the crowd is very detached.
Kwa hazina ya housing fund ambayo inatokana na housing levy, tutabadilisha makao ya wananchi. Tuwatoe wananchi kutoka mahali pachafu, mahali pa sewage, mahali hakuna stima na maji na barabara, na tuwapeleke na tuwaweke katika manyumba ya ghorofa kama hii. Watu wengi hawakuamini, lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie, ni ahadi yangu, ni ahadi ya serikali hii, na mimi nitahakikisha ya kwamba tumetimiza ahadi yetu kwa wananchi wa Kibera na kwa wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Mimi nawauliza, Waswahili wanasema dalili ya mvua ni nini? Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Si ni mawingu? Hapa munaona mawingu ama hamuoni mawingu? Inaonekana haionekani? Si manyumba inaendelea? Na nimewaambia watu wa Kibera, mimi nimesema hatuna nafasi na siasa kila wakati. Hatuna nafasi na siasa ya chuki, na siasa ya ukabila, na siasa ya kisirani, na siasa ya makasiriko. Na ndio tumekubaliana, si ndio? Tumekubaliana kuna watu wa kazi bila break na kuna watu wa siasa mfululizo. Nyinyi watu wa hapa Kibera, watu wa Soweto, nyinyi ni watu wa kazi bila break ama siasa mfululizo? Nyinyi ni watu wa gani? Ate mnasema kazi? Ate mnasema kazi bila break? Hebu nione wala anasema tuendelee na kazi bila break. Tumekubaliana? So mimi nataka niwaambie, ule contractor anaendelea na hii kazi, mimi nitamkaza ili mwaka ujao kabla wa mwezi wa 5 nihamishe wananchi wakuje kuishi kwa hii manyumba.
Look at this. The crowd is not part of it. And to make it worse, those who are around the president were actually the guys, the fundis, and watu wa mkono who are working there. Even watu wa mkono know very well that hizo nyumba si zao. And I know what is most likely going to happen. Yes, Ruto in the next 20 or 10 years, if he's the president, he will be able to face off Kibera slum. But the 197 people that living in Kibera will be forming another slum somewhere else. For now, I've lived that side. Wale wenye wanabomolewa nyumba side ya Kibera, mostly they move to the side of Kawangware and Kabiria. And if you have a relative, you can also cross over the other side of Mathare. So this is something that is going on. But I want to believe this. The impromptu rally in Kibera was organized by just to achieve an objective. The reason why the president was there is just a test mission. And eviction is supposed to happen. And they know that if eviction is to happen, it's going to be chaotic, and people tend to be tend to rebel about that. So they wanted to gauge to gauge the believability of the people, or rather to plant believability of the people on affordable housing. Wakati unaambiwa mpaka ukiandikiwa jina, even if you move, you know, at the back of your mind you think, yes, I'm going to get those houses. When those houses will be complete in 1 year or 6 months or 8 months, so I can tell you the whole thing shall have changed. Na wewe utakuwa umeshaenda kwako. When you come, you'll be told on what exactly is needed. That is just a formality being done. Because for you to get a house, there is another well-defined process. In fact, now wanaandika jina yako. For you to apply, you apply in boma yangu. I'm seeing those people those names written in some names written there. Those names are not in boma yangu. A different process. Number 2, targeting hustlers. I think whenever the president receives intelligence, he's told this one term is a big issue. And so he's targeting hustlers with the affordable housing. And I think that is what he's trying to send to, that is what he's trying to crystallize, so that he can sell to slum dwellers, that you need to support me because I will ensure that you live in these houses. Even if they live in that house and they don't have what to eat, remember their house, their life revolves around that place. I don't think it's a reality to them. Number 3, Mukuru fake owner script is at play. And now, this is Promax. It's at play. I'm telling you, I believe God will give us life so that when launching is done, we are here. But why the residents are detached from the president, even as he tries to sell this agenda, is what should worry those in power. Number 1, 70, if not 90% of those attending, those people who are there, and those who are affected, the believability of owning those, look at this. Look at this. Why do you think someone in Kibera now is living in Kibera? He's not living in Kibera because he wants to. He's living in Kibera because, number one, he doesn't have a stable income. So he wants to live in an environment mali kwanza anaweza kosa kulipa, he can default on paying rent. Number two, rent that he can afford. So the people are just staring at the president when he's talking about these things because they don't believe. There is a big disconnect between the president's statement that nyinyi mtaingia hapa. They know. They've been walking around. They've been going to parklands. They've been going to Kileleshwa. These people work in posh estates. These people work in Umoja, the middle class areas. They know that it is not about availability of the house. It is about me not having money. Yes. They don't just have a two-way communication. They can tell the president, hii kitu sisi hatuna pesa. It's not like we want to stay in this rustic place. Now, at the back of their mind, there is fear of danger of demolitions. Danger of demolitions. And I can promise you, not all who are staying in those places are going to be enumerated. Not all of them are going to be enumerated. There are some people when you're not kupata hewa. The other issue where they don't is, I think housing, much as the president takes it there as a problem to them, they have more primary and more pressing issues. They're not complaining about the house. If you want to go take a microphone and walk to house and say, tell me your problem number one. Shida yako ya kwanza ni gani? He will look at place and tell you, mimi sina chakula. He will tell you, mtoto wangu hana fees. Tell you, mtoto wangu ni msick na hajaenda, sina pesa ya kumpeleka hospitali. Those are the problems. The housing that president is taking, it's not for them. They don't want that leisure. They're not after that luxury. Their target is how they can make ends meet. Atauliza, kama hii ya mabati ndio nalala njaa. Sasa hiyo. The other issue is the fact that I think Ruto is holding a campaign rally just to anchor affordable housing as his re-election legacy project. But there is someone who is not being talked to, and that is middle class, because they are not the majority. So the hustlers are being told that nyinyi hizo nyumba ni zenyu. Well, everyone knows the script is there. But I think if you look at their reception, someone must get worried. Thank you.